And as promised, here is the third and last video about the Lemurian Light Codes. This is Doris Victoria. Welcome to my YouTube channel. For those of you that have been waiting for this one, it is one of the most important ones because it is about the mirror. So first of all, what I want to say is that there is no enemy, there are only teachers. Everything that you are is being reflected in the face, the presence of another human being. When I talk about the Lemurian Light Code of the mirror, it is the mirror of the other presence of light. So imagine we would all be beacons of light, and one beacon's light is reflected in the facade, in the face, in the light of the other one. This is how it works with us human beings. And I just want to share an experience that I had recently and it's wonderful to have those experiences because every time you are invited to stay true to yourself, to stay your ground, people will always be triggered by your presence. If you have something to say that someone else cannot hear, or in my own family, it was in a way that I triggered my own mother to look at her wounds that she absolutely denies. She does not want to look into the pain that she is carrying, that is eating her from the inside out. Just by looking into my eyes, I know that I triggered her to look into her own wounds and heal them. And that is something she cannot handle. So what she did, she didn't know how to help herself then to reject me, to avoid me, to not be in touch with me. I, as a kid, suffered a lot because I thought something was wrong with me until I realized nothing is wrong with me. It is my powerful presence, my very presence, the mirror that I am for her, that she is not willing to see yet. And I can only hope, Mom, because I love you so much, that you will be able to look into that mirror one day. But the mirror, dear ones. So I want to share another experience that I had a couple of days ago. I was posting something, I was speaking up for truth. I signed up for a program actually, and at one point there was one of the important people. So the program was with 3 people, and one of those people suddenly did no longer sessions with us. We have weekly coaching calls, which I really love. And I especially love them with this person because she had this amazing energy that I felt like, oh, that's something that I am feeling called to be in, so that it can awaken this energy that is already within me. Because everything that we criticize or everything that we appreciate in others, we already have within ourselves. Here's the mirror speaking again. So anyway, she was no longer in the program. No one told us. We just heard rumors. There has been stillness about it, and I felt like I couldn't handle it any longer. I couldn't, for me, values like integrity, honesty, transparency are important. So I spoke up, and apparently I triggered one of the other students in our group, which came down on me in a private chat, very abrasive, very judgmental, very kind of like a shutdown instead of opening a dialogue, And I felt it. I have this inner navigational system, whenever someone's tone towards me is off, when I feel like, whoa, wait a moment. This is not coming from their heart. They're not speaking from their heart. Another Lemurian Light Code, be always in your heart. They were in their heads. So I feel that what has happened there is that I triggered something within her by her looking at me that she could not see yet about herself. And it was very interesting because everything she told me about, so like for example, she said things that my bio in my profile is not at all apparently the truth with who I am, that my post was in a way showing who I was, and and I was lying about my bias. So she told me all these really, you know, offending things. And I was like, that's interesting. I did not take it personal. This is something I've learned thanks to you, Mom, thanks to my mother. I do not take things personal anymore because I know now that they are not. They are never personal. Everything somebody is telling you, everything, every way another person is treating you is personal about them. So I wrote back to this girl very, very friendly, very gently, saying that I'm really surprised about your message, and my intention was not to, you know, get you into an upset place. My intention was rather to speak up for values that I feel were no longer respected in this group, and yet they're important for me. And I wanted to know where I am. But apparently my truth and the way I wrote was triggering her. And, you know, I realized there was a lot of spiritual gaslighting going on. She came back on me one more time. I, again, stayed very friendly, very neutral. I did not offend her back. I did not get defensive. I just stated my values again. And yeah, it was interesting because there was abrasion, there was judgment, there was spiritual gaslighting, there was shutdowns, there was defending those that I wrote the message to, even though my message was not in any way offensive. I spoke out my feelings. I spoke up for all of us that have been feeling what was going on. And it was perceived bad for this woman, and yet everything she told me, what she saw in me, when I looked into her profile later, I just was curious, who is this lady that got triggered by my message? So I looked into her profile and it said something like Christ consciousness embodied, and I was like, I hope she has the wisdom to realize that I was her mirror and that everything she told me about myself was 100% correct, but about her. So for her, this could be, if she's open, this could be a great learning process by looking at the words that she texted me and then see where do they apply for herself. And this is, dear ones, what we are all invited to do with this beautiful mirror. Everything we tell another person, may it be a compliment, something beautiful, may it be criticism, may it be a feedback, whatever. Everything we tell another is 100% true about ourselves. So watch your words, beloved soul, watch what you're saying, and watch in which way other people are bringing back subjects or themes within you that you didn't want to look at, and that by another person that is showing you that mirror, that is showing you yourself and everything that maybe you are not willing to see about yourself yet, you know. We all have blind spots, and we need other presences in order to see those blind spots about ourselves. Work on them if we want to, transform them, heal them, and get back into alignment. Because when we are coming back into alignment, we are coming back into our heart. And that was another of the 5 important Lemurian light codes. And for those of you who don't know the other ones yet, please go back, watch my last 2 videos. The first one was about whales and dolphins and how they are holding the Akash here on Earth, and the first Lemurian Light Code. The second video was talking again about the first one, the next 3. And so today, this one was kind of important for me because we all do not realize yet to which extent we are each other's mirror. So for those of you that are left maybe perplexed in the beginning of this video when I said there is no enemy, there are only teachers. Everyone that is hurting you in a way or leaves you in a kind of like that is coming down on you for no reason, it is always talking about them. it is very, very, very seldom, and if it is, then only to 1 or 2 tiny percentages. It is most of the time about the others and about the blind spots that they cannot see yet about themselves. So this was an important one for me. Oops, sorry. That was an important one for me because there is still too much judging going on this planet, and we are too easily offended by something that we see. And if we come back to the wisdom that is awakening in our DNA, thanks to the Lemurian Light Codes, this is when we will be able to see all our facets, including our blind spots. And I want to close this video by talking about why are there 5 Pleiadian or Lemurian Light Codes. So basically, they're called Lemurian because they were seeded by the Pleiadians into humanity's DNA 200,000 years ago, way before Atlantis. And that's why in my last video I was wearing turquoise, because turquoise is the color of the healing mother energy. Blue is the mother, green is healing. Both together gives turquoise, and turquoise is the healing mother energy. And this is what is awakening. There's this divine frequency of the healing mother energy awakening our DNA, especially the ones from the old souls. There's a few of us walking this planet, old souls that have passed thousands and thousands of lifetimes. We know how it's working on this planet. We have seen the dark trying to, destroy the light, but we have also seen the light always, always, always winning. And the light has already won here on this planet. So again, 5 is a sacred number. Check out my other videos. I talked about the numerology of manifestation, and I'm talking more extensively about the 5. But there's 5 Lemurian light codes, and they were kind of like interwoven. Every single one of those codes is interwoven with the other. So if you go into nature and you see flowers that have 5 petals, always 5 petals, I am so amazed by our, there's this oleander here, this blooming oleander, it's such a beautiful flower. And it's kind of like the flowers are actually in spiral form. They are spiraling clockwise towards the outside, and there's other ones that are spiraling anti-clockwise towards the inside. But when I look at these flowers that have those 5 petals, that also reminds me of Venus, one of my favorite astrologers. And by the way, this is something I wanted to add to my last video about sky staring. You lay down and you just stare into the sky, especially at nighttime, and see the activity. And this is what will bring back your galactic origins. You will feel your galactic origins when you are sky staring at night. But some of my favorite astrologers, and astrology is also part of the sky staring people. I mean, look at the astrology of Mayans, of ancient Egypt, of the Greeks. Astrology is one of the oldest sciences. What did it came from? From people that were sky staring, that knew how everything is changing, that knew how everything is moving. And so one of my favorite astrologers, she once showed how Venus, by her moves, is actually creating this beautiful 5-wheel flower. It is a 5-petal flower. So if you see Venus moving in the sky and you're actually following her pathways, it creates this beautiful 5-star flower. I mean, I was amazed how everything is reflected in everything. So remember, we're coming back to the mirror here. You are a reflection of your opposite, and your opposite is a reflection. I mean, yes, we are seeing each other in the light of another being. So as you look into the mirror the next time, try to find things that maybe you haven't seen before. And remember, when you're with another human being, whether it is making you feel good, it is something that you see, that you have inside of you already. Whether it is making you feel bad, it is also something that you already have inside. Only when this other person makes you feel bad, you know there's still something inside of you that needs your own attention, your own healing, your own mother love, your own turquoise color. Okay, my dear ones. Thank you for liking, for subscribing. Thank you for signing up for my channel. It is my honor and my pleasure to transmit all these channelings, all these messages to you. I think it is so important that we are sharing this wisdom that is being reawakened in our very DNA. And I have good news. I have just one place that opened up in my coaching schedule. If you are looking for a powerful coach on your side that empowers your soul, that is helping you to transform everything that no longer serves you, just write me a PM in the chat below this video and we will be in touch. And it would be my honor and my pleasure to be on your side as you remember who you truly are and why you're here. And with these words, my dear ones, have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.